Hillary Clinton was deposed and she was asked if she knew about aliens and Gilgamesh. I mean, related aliens, UAPs, and so on with Gilgamesh. Now, who is Gilgamesh? I promise you, this is one of the, I think this is the most important awareness right now for all of us to know who is Gilgamesh and why they ask this weird science fiction question to Hillary Clinton. Now, hi, I am Amrita, and I am the founder and creator of the Law of Becoming concept and movement for enlightenment, transformation, and so on and so forth. And I'm going to read from my book here, The Law of Becoming. I'm going to read parts of Gilgamesh. I wrote a book about like all of this. And I mentioned here, as you can see, 84 times Gilgamesh. Now, I'm just going to improvise this time and I'm going to just move through the pages and explain to you like what is happening with the Gilgamesh situation and what is related to Iran, to Israel, to this awakening that everybody's starting to have, and why this is related to our superhuman fifth dimensional powers. And yeah, so let's go. Let's begin. You know that I love to like it's not like like I mean like I only have by the time that I'm recording this like a few followers, but if you are one of them and you're watching, you know that I love to start with my introduction because I'm very proud of it. I'm new in YouTube and I just created this one last week. Let's go. Oh wait. Okay, it was like a bit clumsy, but I did my best to just like smooth the introduction in. It is what it is. It's not that important. So now let's talk about Hillary Clinton, about aliens, about Gilgamesh, who was Gilgamesh. And as I said, I'm just going to mention like different parts of my book, The Law of Becoming, which by the way, it is not yet released by the time that I'm creating this. Let me read here this page that I have ready for you, which it says, the original text from where religions originated. I promise you it is related to Hillary Clinton and the question in her deposition. So now, let's just introduce this for now, and then I'm going to just give you the zoom out of my goal of what is my intention of this video, okay? Because it's not that simple. Many of the original texts were copied from the Library of Alexandria. I'm talking about the origin of religions. They were handwritten copies from the ancient Sumerian tablets. Okay, in Iraq, like actually the war in Iraq, the cause of it was for Israel to dig and find these Sumerian tablets, specifically tablets of Gilgamesh. And I'm going to tell you also who is Gilgamesh. Oh my God. So, including the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, the Epic of Gilgamesh, just to mention a few. Now, let me add here, I don't believe in coincidences. I believe that words are sounds made outcome. So the Operation Epic Fury, the war that's happening right now in Iran, I mean, Epic Fury, Epic of Gilgamesh, mm, you know, like, I don't believe that that's a coincidence. Now, those who wrote the original Bible text were Thoth wisdom followers. Now, Thoth, it is mostly known as the Egyptian god Thoth, but in reality, he existed like in an Atlantean times and even before. Let's continue. And I promise that I'm going to put it together with the deposition of Hillary Clinton. Religions also used spiritual knowledge that came from Canaanite Phoenician, a Western Semitic ethnicity that arose among the other Canaanite tribes. The terms Phoenician and Canaanite, all this word, are sometimes used to refer to the people of Canaan, okay, and some of its surrounding. Now, do you know who are people of Canaan? Canaan is today's Palestine and all the regions that the evil Israeli and Israelites want to occupy. And it's not the first time that they are genociding all these people. Like they did that proudly so many times that like actually you can find it in its evil Bible. Like they're very proud of it. So everything is connected. Everything is connected. Now, just know if you don't know that I wrote this book 2020. It's not released yet. It's a book of 1,500 pages. You can see here like the 1,091 page. I wrote this book after having a near-death experience. Believe me or not, that's not my job. I stopped my heart and my brain activity with my mind, left my body, experienced heaven, and came back literally with superhuman powers and fifth dimensional consciousness. I wasn't spiritual at all. I wasn't like I was allergic to mindfulness, hippie mindset. This just happened to me because I started meditating for 2 months to overcome panic attacks. And suddenly I had this super mystical, superhuman experience. I came back to my body and this book started to type through me, the Law of Becoming book. So now let's okay. To clarify further, the Phoenicians were not a separate ethnicity that arose among the Canaanites. They were Canaanites, specifically the coastal city Canaanites. Okay. Now, I just want to add this here because I think I'm going to mention this soon. But I don't know if in this video or not, but I just feel it. Now, here starts an interesting connection with the Lixus site in Larache in Morocco, where I was born, which was Phoenician, therefore Canaanite, and what's coming. I'm going to tell you right now what's coming, probably in another video, and it's immortality. Immortality and the Holy Grail and the location of the Philosopher's Stone. Yeah, that is what the evil Israelites, Israeli people, like Israeli government, I know not all of them are evil, but as per the last time I checked, 98.2% of Israeli people support their evil government and Jews too. So that's like the statistics of themselves and other people. So now, not by coincidence that in the Lixus side, which was my favorite side for playing when I was a kid, I loved going here to play. Loved it. I didn't know why, but I discovered recently that, um, like, is the garden of Hesperides or something like this. I don't remember the name right now. Related to the Canaanites and to the secret for physical immortality and superhuman powers. We visited Lixus recently with my husband, and it was like a holy experience. And I intend to create events there for superhuman experiences. I can't wait. So now, let's continue here. Let's just like continue with the next Gilgamesh mention here. Okay, the Abrahamic religion sources and influences. Mesopotamians, stories like the flood from the Epic of Gilgamesh. Canaanite, the shared cultural religious background, Egyptian and Assyrian, and the Israelite memory, okay, like oral histories of prophets, kings, and tribes. Also, let's continue with the origin of religions. And I promise you, I'm going to unify it very quickly with the position of Hillary Clinton. Okay, the texts of the Hebrew Bible were written and preserved in different regions of the ancient Near East. The Dead Sea Scrolls discovered in Qumran caves near the Dead Sea, modern-day Palestine, between 1947 and 1956. Now, these scrolls contain copies of biblical books, Isaiah, Psalms, and others, and some of the oldest known manuscripts of the Hebrew Bible, dating from around the 3rd century BCE to the 1st century CE. Now, let's just like, you know what, like, let's just find one more time a Gilgamesh part that I find well, like here, this one is interesting, and it has to do with what I just mentioned in Lixus in Larache, in my hometown where I was born. Physical immortality, the Epic of Gilgamesh. Okay, so now Gilgamesh is also known as Nimrod. Gilgamesh is also probably Nimrod, actually. Now, let me read this. I said, Nimrod, many names. As I mentioned earlier, Nimrod is an expression to describe him physically as a giant. But now I will share his most probable recent name found in your history by the time that I'm writing this. I say Gilgamesh. That's right. Nimrod could be very well Gilgamesh, who was a Sumerian and later Mesopotamian king, a legendary hero best known as the most popular hero in the world history by the time that I'm writing this, and also known for the king who wished to become immortal. He was superhuman. Hmm. He was superhuman, very powerful, and he was also gifted with the ability to lead others. In some early Sumerian texts, Gilgamesh name appears in a slightly different form as Bilgamesh. He's also known by earlier attempts to render his name in English as Isdubar. There's a good chance that Nimrod was the protagonist of the Epic of Gilgamesh. Now, there's so much more, like so much more to share with you. And let me just try, because I am again new in doing this and in sharing screens and all of this situation. I will try to share with you my YouTube channel where I share something amazing. Oh, wait a second. I don't know if I can do this because I don't even know if I'm logged in, because this is a new computer only used for me like for 3 days um, to do this streaming, live streaming. And I don't know how to use it because usually I use a Mac and this is a PC. Okay, so for the Mac users, you know how I'm suffering right now. Okay, I'm right now in my channel. Yes, I could do this. Let me share the screen with you. Let me share the screen with you. But I'm going to remove the book for now. Stop screen. And I'm going to just share again the screen. Yes, and I'm using a mouse. That's why you can hear the click. And it's the second time that I'm using a mouse too. And it just feels so weird. So Amrita YouTube here. I think that you can see it now. Let me open the one that I want to share with you. Okay, let me open this one here. This is super important video. Let me just go back to my stream thing to see add to stage. Now, okay, this is absolutely amazing. I'm going to share with you now something mind-blowing, okay? And it's this video that I created to tip Candace Owens, like just 3 weeks ago. And the book is about Nimrod, Babylon, and it's linked to the US Army, okay? So years ago, on 2023, I recorded video. Well, like I screen recorded something in a website of the US Army that's not longer available. Now, are you ready for this? Because this is absolutely mind blowing, I promise you. Okay, it's not longer like when you go to this website, which is the www.cmohs.org, the medal design part of it, you will not find it. Okay, they removed it, but I have the video because I knew it, like in 2023, that they will remove it, and they removed it. So see what is here in the old version. Let me here. Okay, so I don't know if you can read it, but I'm gonna read it for you. Lady Liberty. Okay, the real meaning of the Statue of Liberty is the source of liberty is centered in the Air Force design. In addition to standing for liberty, she is derived from the imagery of Queen Semiramis of Babylon, who was famed for her beauty, strength, and wisdom. Now Queen Semiramis is known to be the mother and wife of Nimrod. Now, Nimrod could be very much be Gilgamesh from the Epic of Gilgamesh. Now, let's just like put all of this together with the deposition of Hillary Clinton. Now, this is just like absolutely amazing. So now, yesterday I was just scrolling on YouTube, like checking what is happening in Iran with Israel and the states attacking them and so on and so forth. And then and I suddenly bumped into a video. I don't know of who that mentioned this. That like it's not that it mentioned specifically Hillary Clinton and Gilgamesh and that like bizarre weird question. It was like almost her whole like hearing the position. And I listened to it for like 20, I know it was this morning. Oh my God, I'm so bad with space time. And I listened to it for around 15 to 20 minutes. And in one point, like one of the questions, besides the questions about Epstein and so on and so forth, one of the questions um, for her, to her, it was if she was familiar with the UAP and Gilgamesh, like both related together, which she responded no. Now, for me, it is just mind blowing. Like why they will mention, like now, just forget about the fact of like normalizing this question for a person like her because they've always been denying the existence of aliens and UFOs and ovnis, UAPs, so you call it whatever you want. But now they're not only normalizing the question, but they are putting it together with Gilgamesh. Now, why it is related to to Donald Trump, to the deposition, to the Epstein files, to the evil Epstein, to the evil Trump, to the evil Netanyahu, what is happening, like the worst that it is that Israel and the states are causing, like globally. Why is this happening? Like, why is Gilgamesh related to all of this? Well, because as I just mentioned, the Iraq war, it was intended for Israel not only to occupy it because they want to create this greatest Israel huge state, but in reality, they want to occupy the whole world and kill us, all of us. I promise you. And not only because they wanted to occupy the rest of the world, but because they know that there is a force, there is an energy field consciousness that is so powerful, is unlimited in its power, and it creates reality and it even opens gates into other dimensions and so on and so forth. So now they know that the Sumerian tablets, that in the tablets that they can find in that region, and especially in Iraq, because in Iraq it was the Garden of Eden, which from my perspective, it was a lab. It was like what's the name in English? It was like, oh my God, oh my God. It was a lab to create the first human being, basically, like not to create the first human being, but it's known in the Bible to be the first human being, like they created Adam, which more probably the name of Adam is Adamu, and it means the first man, which it wasn't like the first man itself. It was like an experiment of tweaking the Homo sapiens sapiens. Now, this lab was a genetic lab. Oh my God, that was the word. In my perspective, also for in vitro, I'm like almost 100% sure that Adam was an in vitro human. That Ninursag, which was the sister of Enki and Enlil in that garden, in the Garden of Eden, which was again Allah, uh, most probably than not, she carried Adam and she gave birth to the first men. Now, let's go back to the fact of the evil Israeli people, that they are obsessed to find these Sumerian tablets because in the Sumerian tablets, and especially in the Epic of Gilgamesh tablets, it's not only about the Bible like story about the great flood and what happened with Noah and so on and so forth. It is about Gilgamesh looking to become immortal because Gilgamesh was half human, half God. Now, probably was also created from these galactic beings. By the way, Enlil, Enki, Gilgamesh, and so on and so forth are galactic beings that back then the humans could mistake them by gods because they were falling from the sky, coming from the sky in spaceships, basically. So that's the origin of theophanies. And the thing is that to put it together again with Hillary Clinton, the position, I cannot believe that I'm actually making it. I'm actually doing this. I am closing the circle and making sense of this video. Even it was like it goes to crazy ways, like to many crazy parts. I think I'm gonna make it, and I'm gonna close the circle into perfection with the Hillary Clinton deposition again. So now, Gilgamesh, more probably than not, it was a giant again because he was like he had more of the genetic qualities qualities of these galactic beings were and these galactic beings were big, were giants compared to the human size. Now, he wasn't super power. Like, I mean, he wasn't connected 100% to his superpowers, um, as those galactic beings were, which were like galactic beings with expanded consciousness awareness that could literally like move with their awareness, physical reality, and like manifest physicality using the sound of their bodies and so much more. They could live for thousands of years, so he wanted to be like them. Now, it's not only about immortality, it's about, again, superhuman powers. It is about the fifth dimensional consciousness. And they are in a race, the evil Israeli people, they are in a race to find this secret in the Sumerian tablets, and especially again in the Epic of Gilgamesh, because they feel and perceive and know that soon the galactic beings are going to come back. So the comeback of Christ and the comeback of like whatever you want to call him, it depends on in which religion. It is actually the comeback of the galactic beings that tweaked the human being. Now they are so arrogant and delusional that they think that they can win the race by harnessing evil and working with evil entities. So then when the galactic beings come, they can already take over before the galactic beings come, they will arrive. By the way, I predicted in my book, maximum 2030, it will be official that they will be here with us. I mean, like, you could probably have a coffee with them. I don't think that they drink coffee, but this remind me that I now do. I should stop, but anyways. So they are racing because they are already lost. That's the reason why the wars are accelerating everywhere. They already lost. Evil lost. We already shifted into the new reality of oneness and love and so on and so forth. And they have no, like, we can see the evil. The evil is not even hiding anymore. And that is why, and that is because us as collective consciousness are purging, are purging. You went through a purge. So sure about it. And or you are going through a purge right now. So when you are purging, it's just like you put out of your body system the illness, so you can now see the illness outside of you. So now you can remove it. That's Israel for the world. Is the illness at the core of evil of the world. So now we can see it. They are not even trying to hide. And that is, again, because they know that they are already lost. So what they're doing is just like to grab the last traces, the last vibration of evil that they can create. So they are just like accelerating everything. And the last card that they have, by the way, this is the only thing that's scary, is that um, they know that they lost already. And that is why they're just like waging war everywhere and just like, okay, let's sink the boat and whatever, right? It looks like. Well, it is because they are trying to literally sink the whole world because they know that they lost already. So there is no space for evil anymore. They're being purged and just like expelled from this planet for sure. They know this. So the last card to play here is to just create such a like huge level chaos so they can just like like feed from that last again vibration of evil, because again they are working together with evil entities. Judaism itself, like I believe that the origin of it was caused by evil entities that they followed. So now, um, what is the only thing that's scary of this story, of this equation, and of this like whole thing that I just like put together with a lot of things, is that are they dangerous to the world? Can they really hurt us? Can they really do something horrible and like finish the whole planet? Yes, they can, because I don't believe that this war that's happening with Iran, and they are now starting the war like with Turkey, like and it's just going crazy. Like they are paying Kurdish uh, people to invade Iraq, like to invade Iran, and to kill for them on like with boots on the ground. You know, it's crazy. So now, um, the only scary thing is that because they know they are already lost, that they could just use their nuclear weapons to wipe the whole world. Like, okay, if we don't win and we don't get the world, then nobody gets it. Now, the only thing that's hope that gives me hope when I think like this, like when I'm aware of this, is that it is more probable that they will not do it for one reason. And it's because they are cowards. They are like pathetic cowards. I don't know if I am pronouncing well this word. In Spanish is cobardes. They are the most like horrible, pathetic cowards in the universe. So most probably than not, they will not kill themselves. They will not finish themselves. Um, because they just repeat patterns. Like they try to genocide like all the original people of the promised land so many times, and again they're so proud of it. They mention it like in their Bible so many times. But when they are almost about to lose, when they know that they already lose, they just like do the same. They just like try to kill as much as they can to just like to retrieve as victims, and be like in low key, like hidden and playing the victim card. Like it doesn't matter if it's for thousands years, to then go back stronger in community with power. Now power is translated in money, so they still have it. But soon money will cease to exist. So now they're using the last moments in time in history to use their power, which is again money. And in one generation, the people that they are like using to do evil, like with the Epstein files, they will not exist anymore. So they're literally playing the last power that they have. They already lost. And again, I don't think they're going to go nuclear and just like, okay, if we don't get it, nobody gets the wall. Because again, like I believe in repetitive patterns, and their pattern was always to try to kill everyone. And when they couldn't, no, when they tried and when they really did it, but they couldn't like stabilize that and stabilize them and take over the whole promised land and then the whole of the rest of the world, then they will again just like retrieve themselves. They are very patient. I believe they are the creators of patience. These horrible, even like beings, like horrible beings. So I think the most probably that not they will do that. The other option, like I really believe, is a 50-50. This option, that it will look like they will go nuclear, but at the end they are so cowards that they will not, and they will just like split and move in different parts of the world that they always do in communities to harness power and to then try it again. Or they will really go for it and they will decide to go nuclear. And then I don't believe that will happen because galactic beings will stop it. Those galactic beings that I believe for sure that they're gonna present themselves officially 2030 maximum. It can happen in 2026 now, 2027, 28, 29. And mm, yeah, so they will stop them. At least that's the hope I believe that many of us that believe in extraterrestrials have, that they can maybe save us from the evil Israel. Anyway, so um that is why. Like I was so inspired to put all this thing together to give an explanation of why they even asked Hillary Clinton about aliens and Gilgamesh if she knew about it like together, like all together. Like the combination of the two things is like, whoa, what is this question happening? Like, why is this question even like it is really surreal? I don't watch science fiction almost never anymore because the world it is the greatest like horror science fiction of all time. So if I wanna watch a thriller and I'm thrilled, I just scroll in YouTube and go through some of the videos related to Israel, and that's it. I'll be thrilling in a science fiction horror movie. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you liked it. Remember that you can join the Law of Becoming in the Welcome Bundle. It is about enlightenment, fifth dimensional powers, literally for you to become and embody your fifth dimensional, multidimensional powers for manifestation, transformation, resetting your body and healing with your consciousness, sustaining your state of being no matter the environment in repetition, which is the key for manifestation, and so much more. Love us. And remember, if you want to become anything you want in your life, you have to become it to become it.